This is Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Television, and of course the program is Aqua Farming. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, Aqua Farming is a program that tells you all you need to know in the water and all the animals and amphibians that are being trained and harvested in the water. And today's episode happens to be quite interesting. You know why? Because we happen to find ourselves in a pond, not just a pond, but an earthen pond. Like we already know, you have an earthen pond, you have a plastic pond, you also have a concrete pond. But today we are talking about the earthen pond. That is for those of you who want to go into aqua farming and possibly do not have the capital to have a concrete pond. This is the opportunity for you to see how an earthen pond can be utilized to be able to go into fish pond. Stay with me. My name once again is Joshua Ishaya. Come as we go on this very interesting episode of the program Aqua Farming.
Good morning, my name is Adekami Paul Busayo. We call this place a Rano Fish Farming. To the glory of God, I'm the leader in this place. I equally have other people with me.
This is actually an earthen pond now, not concrete, not plastic. Can you actually tell us the difference between earthen pond, concrete pond and plastic pond?
Actually, in this place, we mostly deal with earthen pond. We have concrete pond over there also. But the difference between earthen, concrete, and tarpaulin, which you call vat pond, this one is is more preferable in doing fish business due to it has advantage over concrete and vats. In a water process, earthen pond has advantage over concrete and vats. In maintenance, fish can, from fingerlings in the water, you can stay up to a month before we can change the water. Compared to concrete pond, highest 2 days, 3 days. If possible, say you can continue running water every day, every minute. But earthen pond, it's not like that. It's easy to handle. Yeah, from beginning, and fish grow faster in earthen pond than concrete pond. Due to other things in the water, earthworm and other things, they feed on them. Spagaro, other things, compared to concrete pond or vats. Their waste, their waste can easily sink in the mud. Because this one has to do with mud, and that one is cement or the tarpaulin. It cannot retain their waste. It will begin to give odor, and the water will get spoiled. They will begin to affect them. So that is the advantage between, or difference between earthen pond and concrete with vats. Yeah.
Okay. So now, after your fish has come from the hatchery, now can you please take us through the rudiments that so that you can be able to have a good harvest, so that you can be able to have a good harvest at the end of it? What are the probably someone is watching now and he wants to hear what are those things you do as an expert that you are in terms of having
I think first thing before fish come into pond, we treat the pond. First treat the pond. Some treatment take 3 days before you can stock fish. And some you can stock your fish immediately and treat the pond. Then after the treatment, you will net it. I will take it some pond, we put nets. We net it because of bird not to come and feed on the fish or to come and pick the fish. After then, we stock our fish. So stocking fish now, you know, if you are starting from juvenile, juvenile start from 2 mm. Foreign feed. We use foreign feed. We have skeleton, we have Aqua, we have coupons that we use. That is in 2 mm foreign feed. Then after 1 month, you change it to Nigeria feed. Nigeria feed, we have different companies that you can apply their feed, and it will help your fish doing very well. So we in this place, we train fish highest 5 months. We don't wait for 6 months. Feeding, good feeding, will help fish to grow fast. First 1 month, determine what you give them, it will determine their growth. First 1 month, you will know if they are going to do very well or they will not do very well. You know at the first 1 month. Because when you put them, you begin to see them, every week they will begin to change. When you stock juvenile, 2 weeks, it will become standard. The next 2 weeks is preparing to enter jumbo. Though that is how I continue every 2 weeks. Actually, it will reach like the first 2 months, it will pause. You will see that they are not growing very well again. After 2 months, they are just preparing their stomach and everything, getting more wider. Then they will pick again. After 2-3 months, we normally apply. We have other things we apply for them. We have our local machine there that we use to make their feed. But due to rainy season, it's not something that we dry immediately. We have to sun it. You understand? We sun it. If the rainy season now, we can't do production due to rain. So we apply other things for them. And God is helping us.
Oh, that's nice. Now, in your own opinion, what do you think is the best way to minimize the spending of feeding? Because people have actually said one of the major constraints when it comes to fish pond these days, because the fish are very expensive. What is the alternative to be able to have a minimal feeding but then still have a good size of fish?
Actually, the challenge we are facing in fish business these days is feed. The feed is every day on high side. Every day price increase, and we are having challenge. Even we don't have a good buyers. That's why I see many farm, the people have been discouraged in going to fish farming. Due to after you spend all your money, then you are selling cheap. The one we sold this morning, we sold for 1,015 naira, and feed is always on high side. I remember when we start, we were buying Aqua foreign feed for 6,000 naira. Now it's around 23,000 naira. And price of fish, as for when we are buying, when we buy 6,000, we are selling fish 750 then. So you can see the rate of increase in price of feed and fish, it did not match. So the way to minimize and to get a result, that's why we cannot, nobody wait for 6 months again. Because fish start feeding well from 3 months. Immediately about to enter 3rd month, their feeding is high. You understand? Like 1,000 pieces can go, they can finish 1 bag a day. If you really want to feed them. And if you give them 1 bag a day for 2 months, then you are talking about 60 bags. So calculate the money for 60 bags with the way you want to sell fish, you realize I cannot make the money. So we minimize it by applying other things. Like me in this place, I use my production, or I use fish intestine for them. Give them fish intestine. We go to market, buy fish intestine and give them. When they eat and satisfy, we not give them their normal feed, company feed, to just reduce the cost. Because this is what we are doing for a living. We are just see how we can continue doing it, not to stop. Yeah.
So now, when it comes to you choosing the best fish to put your fingerlings, where do you source them from? Is it that you have a specific ones that come? Because I learned that the best, sometimes they say come from Port Harcourt, while some say they come from the north. How do you tell the best fingerlings to be able to stock in your?
Actually, when we start, we make a lot of errors. We have tried before we realize that, after hatching, we have what we call first shooters, second shooters, and third shooters. If you don't get between first shooters, second shooters, and third shooters, any other way you are getting, they will not grow fast. Yes, they will not grow fast. They will keep on eating the food. They will remain at the spot. But if you get the first, if you can get first shooters, there used to be many, or second shooters or third one. That is the best. Not that Ibadan or anywhere. If you can arch, if you have your good archer that use good broodstock, you understand? The best thing you can do, the way you want to buy your fish, go to the farm and see their broodstock.
Okay.
When you see their broodstock, see the type of broodstock they are using in arching. Then you can liaise with them that you need from second shooters, either second or third. If they can give it to you, no matter how small it is, when you are buying it, it doesn't matter, they will grow fast. But when you, so many people, that first, the last, all those third, fourth, fifth, sixth shoot, last one, they will leave them to grow, reach standard level from their size, so that when you see it, it will enter your eye. So when you buy it, you have buy issue. They will not grow. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So now this is your point. Now, how do you take out water? Now, for example, now the water is already is due for change. How do you take it out?
We use pumping machine.
Okay.
We use pumping machine. We suck the water out. Then we have river there. We replace the water. That's how we change the water.
Okay. What of the water you use? Is it a borehole or something?
No, we have a river that flow through now. We can use that one, and we have tap water also. Okay. Tap water carry chlorine.
Yes.
But not for this. That we use it after they reach juvenile, they can withstand tap water, okay, and it will not affect them. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the tap water cannot actually affect them even if you use them once they are up juvenile stage.
Yes,
so
we use it.
So after this very stage of feeding them the 1 mm, so what basically do you do next? Is it that they are still maintaining that pond or they transfer them to some other place?
No. Okay. They are here now. They are here till when we do sorting. Okay. That is the stage of sorting.
Okay. What's that all about, sorting?
Sorting, we separate the big one from the small one. Okay. You know, they have a character of eating on the cannibalism on themselves. Okay. Yeah. So when you wash them, we did our own here 1 month. After 1 month, we remove the water. We do sorting by if you watch that you see big one and small one. So we remove the big one or we remove the small one. Yeah, that is sorting. That's what we are doing.
Okay, after that now you now continue breeding the same size so that
yes, they will not
to themselves.
Yes.
Okay. So after that very process of sorting now, so what next do you do before you get to the next level? Like basically just continue with the
after we sort it, in the process of sorting now it takes patience. Okay. In the sense that you not allow them to go through stress much. You understand? You prepare the next pond, you are going to sort the big one or the small one into. We sort the water, you separate them, you place them in their new pond now with good water, then you treat them. Okay. You put anti-stress to make sure that they relax. You can't feed them that very day. You can give them even up to 2 days, not feeding. Okay. Let them rest and begin to look for food by themselves. Okay. Then you start giving them small again. So give them small till they will adapt to it.
Okay. Okay, so now in your own opinion, like someone who is watching now, how do you think or when you are trying to formulate your feed, what should be more? Is it the protein or the carbohydrates, or what are the combinations that to be able to have a good local
actually is the protein.
Okay.
Yeah, because majority of the things we are using there, they are protein. So carbohydrate is not, it should have a percentage, but not much as protein, so they can get a good result. They actually need protein to grow. Okay. Yeah, we have things there that will give them, the one that will make them strong. The calcium that we have things like bone meal, fish shell, eggshell that we grind to get calcium. But actually the major material we are using is protein. Yes, we use fish meal, all the GNC, soya beans, they are all protein. Even blood meal, we use blood meal. They are protein that will help them to grow fast. Okay. Yeah.
So now, in terms of getting your buyers now, is it that you look for buyers or you already usually do have buyers on ground?
Actually, we have buyers.
Okay.
Just that they are not buying well. But we have buyers in fish market here. We call them, they come and buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of fish pond now, is it a very lucrative business? Let's say, for example, you are able to spend 100,000, the whole process of the fish you've stocked. What investment do you intend to have in return? Let's say 100,000 was your capital. In your own opinion, if someone wants to invest in it, like how much do you think someone can make when he invests 100,000?
Actually, you know, fish business doesn't have much profit
Okay.
for now.
Okay.
If example you spend 100,000 as a capital, at least you should get something like 110,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
110,000.
Yes.
Okay. So why is it that is how it's been, or it's just because the feed are expensive now?
It's the feed.
Okay.
You know, the feed is high. There's no way you can get much gain when feed is high. At even the feed is not much, it's not high, you'll be able to buy more feed and feed your feed, you'll grow more. So even to me, I may not even have problem with buyers.
Okay.
If our fish are bigger and we are having good price in fish feed.
Okay.
But the price is not okay. So that's the feed is the one consuming the gain, the profit of farmers.
Okay.
Yeah.
The feed, okay. So now, when you want to probably advise someone who wants to go into fish pond business right now, what are the basic things you are going to tell him in your own opinion, like a starter who is watching and wants to go into it?
Actually, I will tell you that fish is a calling. Fish business is not like other business that people just go and do. There's anyone that comes here and I want to pull fish, I will give them my own interview. I also ask them, why do you want to do fish business? If you come, because it's possible you do first, second one, you don't make gain. Does that mean you continue? You understand? So it must be something that you have a passion for.
Okay.
When you have passion, so that there's so many things that can discourage you, but the passion will help you to carry on. So don't first put gain in front in fish business. No. That you start today, you need gain today. No. You can have it, but don't put it as front. Because by the time you put that, I need to gain on this, it's possible you'll be discouraged. So a starter that is coming to start, you should have a passion for it. And one thing, you must believe that you have a conviction from God. That's the way I do my own thing. I'll ask you, have you really prayed about it? Just like woman you want to go and marry. Because if you are putting your money, when you start, you don't go back. You understand? You have started, no going back. So that's the challenge.
So now, what is the major, in your own opinion, so far so good? You've been in this business for some time. What is the biggest problem associated with this problem? After that, then what is the biggest advantage in this business? Because there must be two.
The major challenge in fish business is that you must have the experience, and you must not be lazy. In the sense that, you know, the challenge we face in fish business is not one. We face fish challenge, feed challenge, and the buyer challenge. That is farmer for you. We face a lot of challenge.
Analyze them, please.
So number one, the fish challenge, then cannibalize on themselves. So it's possible you put a number, maybe 1,000 pieces. If you are not careful to watch and to know how to do your sorting and everything, it may end up with 200.
Wow.
Yes. You may end up having 200 pieces. So imagine how much can 200 pieces of fish give you your money back?
Never.
So not being lazy, you must watch them and know how time to remove the water to sort them. Just now, I have fingerlings here, but I begin to notice one big one now. So I have to make sure that I very quickly remove the water to remove the big one I'm seeing inside, so that you don't eat my profit. The best food to give a fish is fish.
Wow.
The best food that makes fish to grow is fish. Wow. So that's why they're always after themselves. They hunt themselves inside. So that's the first challenge for a businessman. So then now you buy feed you are buying. You want to economize, that is already good feed. Now you need to economize by buying the one that is not up to standard. To manage, to see how God will help you to come up to a side that you can sell and get little thing. Then the last one, the buyer, they're always taking advantage. Because when you reach a stage, if you didn't feed them, they'll begin to lose weight. You sell by kg. they'll begin to lose weight. So you don't, and if you continue feeding them, you not get the money. So you are looking for someone to buy. So they begin to take advantage of that. Yeah. Yes, that is it.
So now, let's say for example, now probably what's the advantage now of fish pond? What is the advantage? What is that thing that every time you wake up in the morning and it gives you joy that I'm going to my pond? Is it the profit? Is it the routine? Is it the fact that what is that basic thing there that just keeps you going, even though yes you say there is a very minimal number of profits to eat at the point? So what is that the going power that helps you?
It's a vision.
Okay.
And when you have a vision, you pursue the vision with your passion. So sometimes we can be discouraged. We don't feel discouraged much. We quickly overcome the discouragement due to we have the vision, we have where we are going. So you know, a starting point doesn't matter. End point we justify. So every time I'm coming to the farm, I know I have a vision, I have a dream to become a fish farmer. So I continue pursuing it. The little we are getting, we manage, we encourage ourselves with it till we get there. Yeah.
So please, can you remember one of the days you had one of the most bountiful harvests? What actually happened? Was it that the bull stock were good, or what really happened that made you had a very bountiful harvest?
Hard working one,
Okay.
and prayer. Hard working in the sense that you do the necessary thing you need to do on your side.
That's all.
Your sorting, your feeding, your everything your side. It doesn't lose much fish. Your mortality is not much. You have plenty number of fish. Then you sell. Then your son, that is what can give you a bountiful harvest.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you sell, you know, to be encouraged. You see yourself, maybe you used to come here 9 a.m. The following day you can be here 5, because something have pushed you. You see that you are strong now. You are happy.
Yes.
Spiritual is not, when I mean, I'm not talking about spiritual now. You know, as a believer, everything you are doing is a spiritual aspect. You put it in God's hand.
Yeah.
That's why I say anybody that is coming here for the first time, I ask them, do you have a conviction of doing it? Why do you want to do fish business? You know, you must, any business you are going to do as a child of God, you go into, meet God, ask God, should I go into it? Because you understand, along the line, He will be the one to be guiding you. You understand? Actually, we have so many things on net that can guide you, but you cannot meet those standards. The only one that can help you is the Holy Spirit. They'll tell you they are sick. You have used all the drugs in market, they are still dying. He will tell you, go and cut bitter leaf or go and do something, put red oil. You understand? Spiritual aspect is very, very important even in this business also.
So now, in your own opinion, what do you say you want government to actually intervene in terms of people like you who are into this business? In what aspect do government come in? Is it through the feeding? Because I'm sure government will not give you money in cash. Is it through the feeding or through the what? In what aspect can government actually impact to your business? So you can...
Actually, we need help from governments in the aspect of feeding. We don't actually know why feed is always high. Government advise people to go into fish business, but they are not doing follow-up. We need government to do follow-up. Let's know why is it always high. You understand? Business that will run with 500,000 before, now you are running it a pond with 1.5, 2 million. And the price of fish in market still remains the same thing. Nothing, no any regulation, nothing. So we need government to come to our help, to our aid, aspect of feed. Aspect of feed, so that we can buy with it in a good price, so we can have money to feed them more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, one last thing, what's your advice to farmers who are actually watching now? What can you actually say to someone who is into farming, who wants to go into farming and fish pond?
Actually, my advice for farmers like me that have been discouraged, they'll say, I'm not doing again. My advice for them is that they should not be discouraged. They should not be discouraged. They should look where they have issues. Is it in feeding and every farmer that wants to succeed must produce the feed by himself. Go and learn how to make feed. We are doing it here. Come and learn how to do your own feed. Do it quality to less money. At least if you want to buy feed, let's say 1 ton. You can, if you buy in market, you can have a difference of almost 40% when you do by yourself. So come and learn how to make feed by yourself, because as long as you cannot do feed by yourself, there's no gain. Yeah, so it's good for a farmer. Every farmer should have ability of making his own feed by himself.
This is Aqua Farming, a program that tells you and brings to you all you need to know about the aquatic world, be it fish, crab, or anything you actually talk about once it's in the water. And today we happen to find ourselves in a fish pond where we talk about how to actually rear your fish in an earthen pond. Yes, earthen pond, talking about not concrete, not trampoline, neither any other but earthen pond. For those of you who have been wondering how to go into fish pond, not having much capital, this is the best practice so you can actually easily and do it the way you ought to be. Remember, the channel has been Agriculture Research Council of Nigerian Television, and again the program was Aqua Farming. My name is Joshua Isha. Thank you for being a part of the program this time around. Let's do this again, same time, same station next week. Bye for now.